Okay, boys and girls, today's read aloud is going to be Wish for a Fish. So next week I have a couple of fun activities that I'm going to do videos of that hopefully you can make at home. Some things that we can learn about the ocean and ocean creatures. Okay, so this is a Cat in the Hat book, which means I'm going to love it because it rhymes, and I always like to read the rhyming books. This is called Wish for a Fish. I'm going to scoot this way so I can read and hold it close. Okay? Here we go. All right. I'm the cat in the hat, and I hear that you wish to go down to the sea and to visit the fish. So please climb on board SS Undersea Glubber. It's made out of shark skin and very fine rubber. It will take us down deep, deep down under the sea. We will start at the top and go deep as can be. The top parts are sunny, the bottom parts black. We'll go to the bottom and then we'll come back. Here's the sunny zone. See? The twilight zone, the dark zone, and the abyss. The trench at the bottom you won't want to miss. So see the different layers in the ocean? Right. And there are different creatures that live in each of those areas, in the sunny part and way, way down in the very dark, dark bottom in the trench. Okay, the sunny zone is where our sea visit starts. Most of our sea life is found in these parts. The law of the sea is the same as on land. I'll call it the food chain so you'll understand. Big fish eat smaller fish, and so on until you get down to one of the tiniest called krill. A little tiny fish called krill. If you've seen Finding Nemo, krill are what the whales like to eat. If you're wishing for fish, there are lots of them here. I see herring and mackerel swimming quite near. There it is, mackerel and herring. Fish can lay eggs. They have fins and fish tails, and most fish have bodies all covered with scales. These scales, they are coated with slippery slime. The slime keeps out germs the slime keeps out germs at least most of the time. There's our fish. This one's a cod right here. And a perch and a catfish. See how it has little whiskers? And this one over here is called a mackerel. Fish open their mouths and they let water in. That's when the gills job starts to kick in. Gills sift through the water and pull out the air. They help the fish find all the air that is there. See the picture there? Yep. So these are the gills right there. That's what they use to breathe. The jellyfish is a most interesting fella. He looks kind of like a transparent umbrella. Stay away from his tentacles, those long stringy things. They stun prey by giving off hundreds of stings. So you don't want to touch the long part, the tentacle part. Of the hundreds of kinds of sharks in the sea, we only have time now to visit with 3. The 6-inch long dogfish. Nope, it never barks. The 50-foot whale shark. The Mack truck of all sharks. And what have we here? Okay, so that's a dogfish, which is a type of shark. This is called the whale shark. You can see why the size of it, isn't it huge? Let's see what's on the next page. Oh, this type of shark. This is probably the most common one. It is called the great white for its white belly, great teeth, and great big deep bite. A shark grows its teeth in neat rows in its face. When the front row wears out, the next row takes its place. Shark bodies are made of the same kind of stuff as your ears and your nose. That's what makes them so tough. The stuff is called cartilage. It folds and it bends, and when it is torn, the cartilage will mend. Boys and girls, if you remember when we talked about our bodies, We talked about this part, top part on here. I'll have to bend my head this way. This top part on our ears and this softer part on our nose. Yeah, we learned that. Remember, it's called cartilage. It's not hard bone like we feel in our cheeks or on the top part of our nose, but a softer, and sharks are made of that same substance. Interesting, huh? When they lose teeth, teeth grow in, new teeth grow. Another sea mammal we'll see is the whale. It's the largest of mammals we'll see without fail. The great whale family is split into two, toothed whales like the orca and baleen like the blue. So these whales have the teeth, and these whales have something called baleen. It's like long, almost looks like a broom, doesn't it? Baleen fills the blue whale's mouth like a grill. As the water flows through it, it strains out the krill. The blue whale weighs tons, maybe 90 or more. It's bigger than even a big dinosaur. In our afternoon class, we learned a lot about whales when Ben's mom came in and read us that amazing book about the whales. Do you remember? Before we go deeper, let's all wave hello to our mammal pals, dolphins. That's them down below. A dolphin can see in the night, wonder why? Echolocation. It works like an eye. It sends out a click, and the click bounces back, and the sound of that click helps the dolphin keep track of where he is going and which fish is where, and whether some foe, like a shark, might be there. So it's a sound, echolocation, sound that dolphins make under the water, like a clicking. Shake hands with the octopus, isn't it great? With arm after arm just for hugging. Yikes, 8! Dear Dick and Sweet Sally, tell me, what would you think if I told you the octopus shoots out dark ink? It squirts out the ink in some enemy's face and then swims away to a much safer place. So it squirts out the ink, makes it hard for the predator to see him, and then he's able to get away. That's an eel there caught in his ink. All right, this is the Twilight Zone. Of all the fights that are fought in the sea, there's one that is biggest, if you're asking me. Do I hear you asking? I'm so glad you did. It's a sperm whale versus a big giant squid. Like all whales, the sperm whale must come up for air, but this one can dive and then stay way down there for 2 hours or more at 3,000 feet, shopping for giant squid to eat. So that whale likes to eat squid. Okay, now we're in the dark zone. Get out your flashlights. It's dark way down here, and the fish are beginning to look very dear. The gigantura and the big mouth eel, the whip nose, which comes with its own rod and reel. Oh, look at that. That fish has its own little, looks like a fishing line attached to it, but that's part of its nose. Down here it is always black as the night, so many fish here have their own little light. They use it to locate a mate or some prey. Food hunting is hard like this day after day. All right, so you see a lot of these fish actually have their own lights on them. Things that glow, body parts that glow on them, so they can attract a mate or attract food. Okay, now this is called the abyss. You won't find many creatures in this deep, cold sea. Sea cucumber, sea spider, and tripod are 3. The abyss has a carpet of thick, yucky muck. Animals have legs, so they will not get stuck. Super, super dark down here, huh? Okay, there's one more. This is called the trench. Before we go up, it is really a must that you visit the vents, which are cracks in Earth's crust. Remember we talked about the crust when we talked about planets? It is up through these vents that the hot water sprouts and warm up these clams and these worms hereabout. Giant clams and tube worms have enough things to eat because this deep spot has unusual heat. Isn't that funny? Normally the lower you go in the ocean, the colder it gets. But because we're down at the Earth's crust, those cracks, that hot water comes up out of the cracks of the Earth because it's really warm. Remember, it's very hot in the center of the Earth. Okay. Oh, say, can you see by my undersea clock, it is time for the fair glubber got back to the dock. And now that our trip below sea is all done, I will bet that you too have a wish for some sun. Looks like a fun day at the beach, doesn't it? Okay, and that's it. That was Wish for a Fish. So that was our read aloud for today. All right, boys and girls, so I'll be back, I think. Whoop, there I am. I'll be back probably Monday morning. We'll see if a new letter friend arrives. In the meantime, take good care of those plants if you received one. If you didn't, I will make sure to get one to you. And if you've given them a haircut or made faces on them, make sure you send me those pictures. I would love to see them. So, okay, boys and girls, have a great rest of your day. Oop, can you see it's raining out there now? It's a good thing I took my walk this morning. So have a great day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.